Let's get into the charts here. So I'm going to specifically focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We had a little bit of a Valentine's Day pump, and everything that has happened to catch this last move has been discussed in my videos before. So I'll kind of do some hindsight analysis on the charts, and then we'll go into kind of this chart that I threw up on Twitter. What are all these levels? Where the hell did they come from? And what is my plan going forward? Real quick shout out to the partners of the stream, Prime XBT. You guys have been doing a great job of helping me out by using that Prime link, Prime XBT. I've left the link in the description. Click the link, make an account, use the promo code Mayne50, and then deposit money. That's super key. Use the code first. You're eligible for up to $7,000 in deposit bonuses. So thank you to everyone who's used the link. It really helps me out, makes me look good to Prime. Please keep doing it. Make new accounts with new emails. Keep fucking just depositing a little bit of money, new accounts on that link. Let's fucking go. Let's talk Bitcoin here real quick. I'm gonna do some hindsight analysis just about this area of price right here, okay? And this down leg and this resulting retrace. And then I'm going to discuss all of these levels and my high time frame plan. So we came down, right? Remember the 2 weekly levels that we'd been focusing on, right? Weekly order block, bullish, weekly order block, bearish. And that was basically the entire move from here to here. You caught almost the entire move by just being bullish at the weekly bullish order block. And then if you're bearish at the weekly bearish order block, you caught a potential top short, right? We can also add one more level in here. Take this to here. That gives us our mid-range right there, okay? So you could add that level if you want. And you can zoom in and you can see that that mid-range actually is quite a nice level there. You have this trading range here, right? So this is a very good level here. We broke above this little range, pushed through here. So if we get back below here, good chance we go back towards the lower part of the range. But I'm only going to use those 2 weekly levels for now. I'm not even going to look at the mid-range. So we have our weekly bullish order block, our weekly bearish order block. Those are our first 2 levels that we're looking at here. The second level I'm going to zoom in on here is down on the 12 hour. So on the H12, we came up into this weekly bearish order block and this previous price floor. So this is support. When we come back to it and retest the underside, you can assume it might act as resistance, right? We had this really nice bottom form here at that bullish weekly order block. We put in the bullish market structure. Boom, we broke away. So market structure is in an uptrend right now. The question is this the pullback before the next leg, or is the pullback going to be deeper, right? Down into here and then potentially up, or are we fucked and we're going to zero? So right now, these are the 2 kind of bias levels we're looking at. We traded at the bottom of the range, deviated below, now at the top of the range. And what did we do? We deviated the upside and now we're back inside the range. We came up, tagged it, clear SFP. So if you want to know how I trade SFPs, I'm going to do an entire video on it, but this is an SFP. You have a swing high, which is a 3 candle swing. Okay, that means that there's 3 candles and the candle in the middle is higher than the one on the left and the right. That is a 3 candle swing. That's how I identify a swing point. So this is a swing low. This is a swing high. This is a swing high. This is a swing low, right? This is a swing high. What would not be a swing high? Let's see if I can find an example of that. This is not a swing high right here, this candle, because this candle here is higher than this one. So the swing high is actually this candle. That's the swing high candle. So when I talk about an SFP, I want to see a candle wick above the swing high candle and close below the wick. Move above, but then it closes back below the wick. And let's say the close was there. So you can see that right here. Here's your swing candle. We went above it, closed back below. Now, you can trade this as a swing failure pattern by simply entering on the candle close, which was all the way down here, and your stop goes at the high. Swing failure pattern into our key weekly bearish order block level. High time frame swing failure pattern. If you're not shorting up here, you don't have to. You at least need to be taking some profits on longs. If you got long down here, your obvious objective was here, right? Running above these highs and then into this resistance, this previous floor, that weekly bearish order block. So maybe you didn't take profit here because you thought we might go a little higher, but when we close that as an SFP, you got to lock in some gains. That's your signal that there's indecision in the market. maybe we're turning around and now you haven't given back, 5 or 6% in the market. Taking profit is just as important. Where you take profit is equally, if not more important than where you enter. Nothing worse than nailing a trade and then round tripping it or giving away half of your profits. So definitely this is a profit taking area at the very least. And if you are looking for shorts, this is a high probability area to potentially look for those shorts. Now, why did we bounce here? Well, if the market structure here is bullish, low, high, higher low, higher high, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a higher low to get in a long, right? If you're trading in an uptrend, you don't want to long this, right? You want to long the pullbacks. And this ties in with all the stuff we've talked about, right? This might be a 12-hour uptrend and there might be an hourly downtrend here. So if you're shorting, you're counter trend, but as soon as the hourly flips bullish, you're in a 12-hour uptrend, hourly flips bullish. That means the low time frame is now syncing up with the high time frame. You want to get back in those longs. And where do those higher lows ideally form? Not always. They don't always come all the way down. Maybe it just retested a previous high. But ideally, they come down into a bullish order block that has generated that most recent high, right? So you actually have a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and you actually have a swing high right here. There's your one candle, there's your higher candle, there's your lower candle. So there's a swing high right here. And then what happens after? We get another swing high right here. What generated this swing high? This bullish order block. The down candle before the up move that broke market structure. It also broke the market structure of these highs. That was your higher low, potentially, right? For this higher low to be confirmed, it has to take out this higher high. But that's how you, first of all, caught the pullback. Big time SFP. Now I'm looking for a higher low because I want to be bullish because we're in an uptrend here. Where's the best place to go for longs? There's the bullish order block that generated that high. There's a whole cornucopia, it's a good ass fucking word, of concepts that are blended here. You have market structure, you have an order block, you have swing failure patterns, you have your Fibonacci. What do you think if I drop my fib and drop the OTE on here? Where do you think that's going to form? Look at where the 79 OTE lines up and look at the wicks. There's your order block. There's your 79 fib right there, or 78.6 for you uninitiated. And what do we get there? We get buying happening. How do you know? Well, look, you have long lower wicks. You have a bullish SFP into that bullish order block at that 79% retracement. This is a high probability area to look for a long. Just like you played the SFP here. So let's say you shorted up here. This is a good area to take some profits on that. Now you look here, we have that SFP into that 12-hour order block. So if you entered this SFP, you enter on the close, stop goes below the low. I would target this bearish order block here as my first target. Target 2 would be a new high. Alternatively, you just have your order sitting at the order block and your stop is below the order block. So you're just entering based on this being an order block. The SFP is just additional confirmation. Even to the order block here, the bearish order block, you still got a 3R trade. So that's how you would have caught this long. And you can obviously, as I always tell you, you can zoom in. Okay, I've got my 12-hour bullish order block here. I'm going to zoom into the hourly. What am I looking for? I'm looking for reasons to get bullish. Bullish swing failure pattern, break in market structure, higher low into an hourly order block. All of a sudden, I got a way tighter risk reward. Instead of having my stop down here, I could now have my stop here and my entry here and then target to the left. So you can enter on the 12-hour or you can use the 12-hour, determine your bias is bullish. You're in an area that you want to look for longs. Zoom in and get a more dialed in entry. This is all stuff I've taught you in previous streams. I'm just showing you. I know it's in hindsight, but repetition is good, right? Showing you over and over and over again. I spot this stuff very fast because I've been doing this for a long time. The more you see it, the more comfortable you're going to get finding it in your own charts and then ultimately executing on it in your own charts, right? So that was the little Valentine's Day pump here. Now the question is this: are we forming a lower high here and we're going to actually make a lower low and the trend is now shifting? Or is this just a little bit of a pullback and we're actually just kind of retesting the middle of this range here and we're going to go back up and boom, right? So that's the question now. So there's a couple things you could look at here, in my opinion. One, you have that 12-hour SFP here. Within this range, from this high to this low, we're rejecting right at the OTE into a bearish order block, because technically we did break market structure here. We have a low, a lower low, a higher low. That makes this a swing low. We broke that. We're now retracing into the order block, this candle that broke market structure. So technically you could have shorted this up in here. Invalidation is here. Why is my invalidation here? We hit the level, we deviated above it, and we closed back below. Price has no business getting back above this high if it's gonna go lower, in my opinion. If we come back up here, to me, this is now an SR flip, right? We had resistance here into that weekly bearish order block, or support, excuse me, resistance. If we get back up here after running the level and start consolidating above it, I think we go higher. And another key level that you could add here is the yearly open. Where's January? Here's January. That's the yearly open right there. So to me, there's your weekly order block. There's your yearly open. You can look at it on the 4-hour even, lower time frames if you want. We've already ran up into here. So if this is gonna go down, if we're gonna make a new low and trade back into here, this is the high. That level should not get broken if we're going lower. Oh God. So my assumption is that we stay in the range always, right? So if you go like this, if you say this is our range here, this is our range, we formed the range, we deviated the range high, we traded back to the lower part of the range into support, found a bid, and now we're trading back towards the upper part of the range. Now we're finding resistance. So to me, if we get back below the range or back above the range, I'm gonna probably expect continuation. So right now we're retesting effectively the 50% here, right? We got the 50% point here. We're basically retesting that level here. So bulls really want to see us hold this kind of area right here. And you can see we're getting a little bit of a reaction already. But if I'm bullish, I don't really want us to trade below 43 for any extended period of time. Ultimately, if we make a new low below this low here, that locks this in as a lower high. We've now shifted the trend. Now we have a high, a lower high, and a lower low. The 12-hour trend is now going to be flipped bearish. This is the 4-hour, but it'll look the same on the 12-hour. And I would be looking to target back into here. This range, right? Remember when we were trading in this range between these two levels? I'd be targeting back into here. So the bullish case, if you did not long here, I'm not longing into resistance here. Like maybe you long this pullback or you long it a little lower, something like this. Sure, if you want to. Me personally, I'm waiting. I'm seeing some rejection here, right? There's a SFP right there. This looks like a lower high. I'm just gonna wait. And if we're able to get back up above 45,500, and ultimately back above the yearly open, I'm gonna open a long targeting 50,000. Why 50,000? Because I like 50,000. No, it's a big round number, right? Psychological number, round number. You also have all of these untouched highs here. So you have some liquidity here in the form of highs. You have that nice round number at 50K. And then if it's really bullish, right, we have equal highs just up here, around 52K. So my long scenario personally is if this is gonna hold, and we come up here, this high should not get run if it's bearish. We've already put in the swing failure pattern. This is either already played out or it's gonna play out further. We're not gonna come up here, in my opinion, and do this. We could, but I just don't see it that as being likely. If they wanted to send this thing down, they've already trapped a bunch of buyers up here. They're gonna break this thing down. It's more likely that we see something like this, right, than another run of this high here. I just don't see that happening. To me, that's your bearish invalidation. 46,000 basically. If we get back above 46K, I think we go to 50. So if we get back above 45,550, and then the yearly open, which is 46,224 on FTX's perp contract, that would be a long trigger for me up into 50K, right? So we come up, whatever swing low formed before the reclaim of the yearly open, like a 4-hour close above there, I'm in. Pullback, whatever, I'm longing. My stop is below that swing low. My first target is 50. Target 2 would probably be above these highs here. Okay, that would be my long plan. Could we drop and then go up? Of course. We could dip below this mid-range level, retest this little SR right here. But just like this is your invalidation for bearishness, if you're looking to get long here, we cannot lose this low. So that's where your long idea is wrong. If we trade back down here, and below this low, to me, that's a sign that we're going to break down. And I'd be looking to short back into like 38K. So where did I get all these fucking levels? Well, you kind of know now. And as you can see, my plans here, the yearly open, that range high, move up to 50, break below the base, move down to that lower range, and then 35-ish thousand. So you now understand this chart because I broke it down for you. The only level that you don't have that I have on this chart that you don't have on that chart I just drew up is this mid-range here. This low to this high. This is kind of the mid-range of this bull market here. And you can see all of that action we talked about. Where's that weekly order block? It's right here. Where's the yearly open? It's right here. Where'd that SFP occur? Right at that mid-range. Crazy how I can draw a range all the way back from January to March of last year. So this range is a year old, and look at how reactive price is to it an entire year later. If this ends up being the top and we go down like this, that's crazy that this range is that reactive, but it's clearly a key level, right? There's the range established. We broke down, sold off to the lows, reclaimed the range, pumped, broke below, back above. So this became a deviation and we launched. We went above the range, got back below. We dumped where? Right to the mid range, sold off again, back up to the mid range, and we're finding resistance. So pretty cool. I love seeing that. That's what stuff I love about price action is when I have some old ass level and like boom, the top or the temporary top at least right at that mid range. So the only level that you don't have from this breakdown that I just did here is that mid-range level, but it's just confluent with that weekly order block and the yearly open. It's right smack there. So now you know what I posted on Twitter and why. I have all of these fucking levels and this plan, and it's all based on what I just explained to you. We have that SFP here. We have this low here. Lose the low, short it. Regain that high, target 50K. I don't need to trade in here. You can. There's going to be trades. This is a range on its own right here, right? Like I said, this is its own range. So if you want to trade from here to here and then from here back to here and possibly down to here, we could go like this for a while. I don't know. Maybe we trade here, then go up to the top and then back down below. Maybe we do some shit like this. I have no idea. And if you want to trade that, by all means, go ahead. But based on my analysis on the high time frame, if I'm patient and I wait for a clear setup that gives me confidence that I'm going to be right, I can catch a 10% move to the upside pretty easily because I'm pretty confident if we get back above here, we're going higher. High confidence, high conviction trade that has up to 10% upside unleveraged. I'm into that all day. That's a month maker trade. If you catch a long from the yearly open to 50K and you size it properly, you've got your risk defined, and you nail it, that could be the only trade you need to take all month. That's plenty of money. You catch a couple of those trades a month, you're laughing. Same thing on the downside. If we break down here and I have a high conviction short, back down into here, 10-15% unlevered, that's the only trade you need to take all week, all month if you nail it. The other thing you have to keep in mind is we have some macroeconomic headwinds that are seemingly having some strong reset flexivity to, kind of price, right? On the intraday charts, right? You'll see these Twitter accounts tweet out that the invasion of Ukraine is on and then it's off. They're putting troops in, they're pulling troops out, and you're seeing the dollar index go like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just see some choppy price action here. That's why I'm waiting for a clear trigger. If you did not short up here or up here, I think you just wait for a breakdown of this base, right? Wait for a breakdown of this base, get short into here. And personally, I think if we get back below 40, I think we run these lows, right? Like I think this is probably something that would happen. If we lose this 4,900 area, 41K, if we lose this swing low, I think we probably come back and test 35, 36 to be honest with you. But I'm not going to guess yet. I'm going to play it level to level. So this would be kind of my short trigger. My long trigger would be above here. And in the meantime, I'm chilling. I'm going to wait for a more high confidence setup, which I think is going to either occur above here or below here. Okay, so Bitcoin done and dusted. We're now going to look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, we formed our top, broke back down below. And where did price stop? Right at that bullish order block. What is the low of this candle? 2158.9. The bullish order block is at 2168.3. Where did we trade into? Right into this weekly bearish order block here. This also happens to be a weekly or a previous weekly open, 3150. So that's kind of your big range that you're looking at. We are, again, finding some resistance up around this level, right? We broke up. We're in a clear uptrend here. There's your low, lower low, higher low. And this is just bullish market structure here until we had this high. This is a break. This wasn't an SFP, but then we broke this low. So technically, we have a high, a lower low, and a potential lower high here. So what I'm watching for is this area is being super key. If we're able to flip this 3150 area and this bearish order block, I think you have a very clear skies long up towards like 3600, 3800, up into here. This floor at least, and then probably higher as well, right? So for me, this is resistance for now. We really need to get above 3150 in my opinion and hold above there, because right now it's resistance. So if we get above there, right, take out this high, whatever swing low generates this high, that's my risk. The pullback, if it gives you one, right, is your long and you're targeting into here and potentially as high as here. That's a high confidence trade. Could I get a better entry if we pull back a little more? Like maybe this is it. Maybe we're just retesting this and now we're gonna go. But for now, this just made a lower low and this looks like a lower high. So I'm not as confident in this setup based on the 12-hour. I'd be much more confident if we flip this. So I'm going to wait, just like on Bitcoin. I want to see Bitcoin kind of get above 45.5, get above the yearly open. I want to see Ethereum reclaim 3150 and this bearish order block that's formed here. Above here, I got a high confidence long into here. Same thing is on Bitcoin. This is a 10 to 15% move here. I'm happy with that. I don't need to get long a little lower and have less confidence. I'm way more confident up here. Exact same as Bitcoin though. If we lose this swing low here, there's your bullish SFP that caused this most recent run up. No reason to get back below this level. So if we get back below 2850, I think we trade lower. So again, above here, I'm looking to long. Below here, I'm looking to short and probably into some of these lows. Those are my two triggers, down here or up here. I'm not doing anything in the meantime. If you want to trade in between, by all means, trade to your heart's content. I'm just sharing what my plan is and what I want to do and how I plan on executing it. Obviously, I could be wrong. You know, I could end up being right, but you could get a better entry than me. There's a million different things that could happen. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. All that matters is, does your trade idea make sense for you? Does it follow your trading plan? Is your risk managed? Do you have a clear entry, exit, take profit, stop? You tick off all those boxes and you pull the fucking trigger. So that's exactly what I'm talking about here, right? We could potentially come a little lower and then go up, but I believe if we get above 3150, I think there's a good chance that if we get above 3150 and hold, we'll trade up into here, and then the second target would be up into here. Okay, lose this low, I think we can trade all the way back down below these lows. I didn't long this because I was drunk. I didn't short this because I was drunk. What's wrong with you, Mayne? I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's totally up to you. You know, I got some sun. I didn't tan because I don't tan because I'm white as a ghost. I'm like Casper, but not nearly as friendly. And I'm not wearing any pants. Oh my God, I almost puked. My neck's too skinny. My big head is getting in the way here. What if I do this? Move to Ukraine. Aren't you guys about to get invaded by Russia? Ask BitBoy if I can stay at his crib. I mean, he probably has good snacks. That much we know for sure. Do I look like someone who belongs in Africa? This is a piece of paper, and this is my skin. They're the same color. I would die. I know that's not a straight line. I'm not a straight person when I do charts. Or I'd have to have a gay marriage. If anyone's interested. It's time for me to do my nightly ritual, which involves jerking off my pretty pictures. Love me some cowboys. And I was in there for 5 days. I mean, yeah, I don't know, there's pretty girls everywhere, man. You just gotta go up and talk to them. Absolutely, be my guest. But that's not something I'm interested in doing right now. I'm not a straight person. Las chicas, woo, they would love if I got gay married. I am straight. Straight as a fucking curved arrow. No, I'm definitely straight. Unless I'm straight. Definitely straight. My editor's gonna cut this in a way that makes it sound like I'm not, but I am. Or am I? I don't know. I am.